Hey guys, what is up? It's Flag44 here. I'm going to be recording a video, or I am recording a video. I'm going to be doing this video on the state of the Seahawks. I think my headset fixed a little bit. So the state of the Seahawks, where the Seahawks are currently at. And I know this gameplay looks like the one I posted last time, or I posted before, but it is actually different. It doesn't have that weird freezing thing. But it's probably pretty similar. I would post a different map or whatever, but I only have a couple gameplays recorded, and this is my shortest one. And this isn't going to be a super long commentary because I'm just talking about the Seahawks. Even though I could make it a super long commentary, I don't know. Not all that much I need to talk about. So, let me just start off with my day here because that kind of started off with the Seahawks. I woke up at like 8:30. I checked my watch. I'm like, oh gosh, hopefully I didn't sleep in too much and miss the Seahawks game. And it's like, check my watch. It's 8:30. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I fell back to sleep. I guess I don't really remember that. And then I woke up again right away because I'm like, oh gosh, oh, there's my triple hunter killer with the quad feed. Thank you very much. Check my watch again, and it's like 10:07. I'm like, oh gosh. So I race downstairs and turn on the game, and I see the Dolphins have the ball, and it's like 13 minutes left. So I'm like, oh, they must have got the ball at the beginning. And so I checked, and apparently that the Seahawks had the ball but went 3-and-out. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of unfortunate, but whatever. For some reason I've been like sleeping in a lot more usually. I just wake up pretty early and can't adjust to like the weekend schedule, but I don't know, the last couple of weeks I've been able to, or last week and into this week I've been able to sleep in for much longer. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but anyway, so I was watching the game. It was going pretty nicely. I mean, the Seahawks, extremely frustrating team, especially on the road, because there hasn't been a game where they couldn't have won it. Like they could not very easily, but like you could flip like 5 plays, I think, and they would be undefeated. Really, like it's come that close. Every game they've lost, they've been in. They've only lost games on the road. Very winnable games. And so this game was no different. There was some bad calls, like Earl Thomas's roughing the passer call, which was absolutely terrible because he's in the air trying to defend the ball, and he can't stop himself once he's in the air, and he just kind of runs into the quarterback. But I mean, there's no way to stop himself, and that brings back a interception in the end zone, which would have stopped a touchdown and probably would have resulted in the victory for the Seahawks. And another play that looked like Reggie Bush fumbled the ball before he got in the end zone, but they didn't really review it right or something like that. And that was close, but maybe they didn't look at it long enough or something, which would have been another touchdown. If that had been a fumble, then it would have gone back, been a touchback, and Seahawks would have the ball. So, I mean, the Seahawks didn't play all that great. You couldn't say they'd really deserve to win, but the Seahawks on the road aren't a good team. We already know that, or aren't, going to be great. And it was one of those games where they very easily could have won it, and a couple calls didn't go our way. So now we're 6-5 instead of 7-4, which is, if we were 7-4, we'd have the wild card. We'd have sole possession of the wild card, but unfortunately, that's not how it goes. We still are tied. All the other wild card teams that were tied with us before lost as well, so not that big a deal. But they were playing much tougher teams, and this was a chance for us to really get ahead, get a nice road win, but it didn't work out. And then, so after the game, I was pretty disappointed because the play calling is absolutely terrible. Darren Bevel, I think, is it Darren Bevel? I always want to say Darrell Bevel, but I think it's Darren Bevel. Is a really bad play caller. Like, I mean, it's just so obvious when they're gonna run. Seahawks run game was non-existent. We have a great running back in Marshawn Lynch, but they don't seem to know how to use him correctly because we can't get short yardage with him. And it was just so bad. Like you could tell lining up, like, oh, they're gonna run it here, and they would run it every time. And Russell Wilson was great. It was really frustrating. It's almost one of those things where you wish your team was either good or bad, because if they're good, they'll just win, no frustrations. But if they're bad, they're just gonna lose, and you can just not be invested, in how well they're gonna do. But if they're kind of this medium, like they're talented but young or whatever, it just results in frustration because either they'll win or they'll have a heartbreaking loss. Like there's really no in between, which I mean is good, but I don't know, it's frustrating. And then after the game, it was announced that Richard Sherman and Brandon Browner were facing 4-game suspensions for PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, and apparently it was Adderall that they used, which a lot of players have been using as of late and have been getting in trouble for it. So that's really unfortunate because they're some of our best players. One's Pro Bowler last year, and the other is probably the best corner in the league playing right now. And just to lose them is really, really unfortunate. And kind of, it was one of those things that if we won and that happened, then it would have been like, oh, bigger deal. But then it just kind of seemed like one of those pile-on things, like, oh, season over. Because at this point, if we get in the wild card, it's not even that great of a deal if we can't win on the road. But that's what some people were saying. My take on that is that we've been in every game, and maybe if we play enough, we'll be able to learn how to win on the road. The last 4 games, we don't play a single game on the road. We have 3 home games and 1 on a neutral site, which is pretty much on the road, but like not officially or whatever, or kind of officially, but not really, sort of deal. So they're trying to appeal those suspensions, so we'll see where that goes. I don't know, just frustrating. Everyone was hoping for, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I think they could still get into the playoffs. You just kind of hope that eventually they figure it out because they seem so close. And if they could just break through and learn how to play a little smarter, then maybe they could do something. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about the Seahawks right now. At home, they're just amazing. It's really ridiculous. The defense hasn't played the way we wanted them to play. I don't know. We won. Like I heard this guy, Twitter Hawk blogger, say that he's only found one NFL game where the team has scored 2 touchdowns, gotten a turnover and a kick return touchdown and lost. So it's just a weird game, and hopefully we can turn it around to get going here.